You lose your value when you give yourself to everyone. The more available you are, the less they respect you. Your time, your energy, your presence, they are not free. Protect them, because what is always available is rarely appreciated. Constant availability drains your purpose, because it teaches the world to treat you as if your time, your energy, and your presence have no value. When you make yourself too easy to reach, too quick to respond, and too ready to give, people begin to believe that you exist only to serve their convenience. At first, it may look like generosity, but over time, it becomes self-betrayal. You start losing the essence of who you are, because your schedule no longer belongs to you. It belongs to whoever decides to call, text, or show up. And while you are always there for others, you slowly fade from your own life. Every time you put aside your priorities to answer every demand, you dilute your focus and weaken your progress. Constant availability makes you invisible, not because people cannot see you, but because they stop seeing your worth. They stop respecting the boundaries you never enforced. You become predictable, accessible, and common. And what is common is rarely treasured. Think about it. Water flowing freely on the ground is wasted, but the same water, when stored and directed, becomes powerful enough to generate electricity. In the same way, your energy scattered everywhere is lost, but your energy contained and directed has the power to build your destiny. The truth is, people don't value what is always within reach. Scarcity creates respect and boundaries create value. If you are always available, people begin to treat you like background noise, always present but rarely acknowledged. They don't see the sacrifice behind your yes. They only see the convenience of it. You may think you are helping, but sometimes, being too available only teaches others to take you for granted. And when you are constantly giving away your time, you leave nothing for yourself. Your goals, your dreams, your growth, they get pushed aside, waiting for a day that never comes. Being unavailable at times does not mean you are selfish. It means you understand the worth of your purpose. It means you know that every moment wasted on unnecessary noise is a moment stolen from your mission. The world is full of distractions designed to pull you in every direction. If you don't guard your time, people will use it carelessly. If you don't protect your energy, people will drain it thoughtlessly. And once you are drained, you can't even give your best to the things that truly matter. Constant availability is a silent killer of dreams. It makes you believe you are being productive because you are always doing something for someone. But being busy is not the same as being purposeful. Business can keep you trapped in cycles that go nowhere, while purpose moves you forward toward what truly matters. And purpose requires focus, discipline, and the courage to say no. You can't hear your inner voice if you're always answering the voices around you. You can't build your future if you're always fixing someone else's present. Start honoring your value by creating space. Let people wait. Let them realize that your time is not endless and your presence is not free. When you set boundaries, you don't push people away. You teach them how to respect you. Those who truly care will understand, and those who don't were never aligned with your journey in the first place. Protecting your availability is protecting your destiny. When you stop being everywhere, you start becoming someone. Because at the end of the day, the more available you are to everyone, the less available you are to yourself. And if you lose yourself in the noise of others, you lose the only person who can fulfill your purpose, you. Boundaries protect your value. Too often, people believe that in order to be loved, respected, or accepted, they must always say yes. They say yes to favors they cannot manage, yes to commitments that drain them, and yes to people who give little in return. But what they don't realize is that every time they say yes to something unworthy of their time, they are silently saying no to themselves. They are saying no to their peace, no to their growth, no to their priorities. The truth is simple: if you never draw the line, others will cross it without hesitation. If you don't value your time, nobody else will. Saying no does not mean you are unkind or selfish. It means you are wise enough to understand that your life has limits, and your energy is not infinite. Think about it. Every hour you give away to someone who doesn't appreciate it is an hour you will never get back. You cannot rewind time, and you cannot recover wasted energy. Boundaries exist to protect you from this loss. They are not walls to keep love out. They are gates to filter what deserves to come in. When you learn to say no, you are not rejecting people. You are respecting yourself. Many people struggle with boundaries because they are afraid of disappointing others. They fear being judged, abandoned, or misunderstood. But ask yourself this: why should your well-being be sacrificed to make someone else comfortable? Why should your peace be the price for someone's approval? People who truly value you will respect your limits. They will not demand that you exhaust yourself just to keep them happy. In fact, those who get offended when you say no are often the very ones who benefited the most from your lack of boundaries. Their frustration is not about your decision, it's about losing their control over your availability. Boundaries also teach others how to treat you. Every time you allow disrespect, neglect, or overstepping, you silently train people that this behavior is acceptable. And once they get used to it, they will expect it. But when you establish clear boundaries, you send a different message. You tell the world, my time matters, my energy matters, my goals matter. You show them that you are not here to be used but to be valued. And surprisingly, when you protect your value, people begin to treat you with more respect. They realize your yes carries weight because it is not given cheaply. Think of it like this. Imagine a rare diamond placed in an open street, free for anyone to pick up. People might glance at it, some might even step over it, because it's too available. But place that same diamond in a protected case, surrounded by security, and suddenly its value rises. Not because the diamond changed, but because it was guarded. You are that diamond. Your boundaries are the case that preserves your worth. Without them, people will overlook you. With them, people will recognize your significance. Saying no is not rejection, it is redirection. It redirects your energy from what drains you to what strengthens you. It redirects your time from endless obligations to meaningful pursuits. It redirects your focus from pleasing everyone else to fulfilling your own purpose. And when you begin to protect your value with boundaries, something powerful happens. You no longer chase respect, it comes to you. You no longer beg for love, it finds you. You no longer fear losing people, because the right ones never leave when you say no. Remember this. Wisdom is not about how much you can give away, it's about knowing what not to give away. Protect your value. Guard your energy. Say no when you need to. Because every no you speak to the wrong things makes room for the yes that will change your life. Your energy is currency, and just like money, if you spend it recklessly, you'll find yourself bankrupt with nothing left to give. Every single day you wake up with a limited amount of energy. It's not infinite, it's not bottomless. It's not something you can afford to waste on meaningless distractions or on people who don't value your presence. Your energy is the life force that fuels your dreams, your work, your relationships, and your growth. When you invest it wisely, it multiplies and creates more value in your life. But when you scatter it in every direction, giving pieces of yourself away to situations that drain you, you end up with nothing left to pour into the things that truly matter. Too many people live as if their energy has no value, as if they can endlessly give it away without consequence. They spend hours engaging in gossip, arguments, negativity, or constantly trying to fix everyone else's problems. They give their energy to proving their worth, chasing approval, or being available to everyone at the cost of their own peace. And then they wonder why they feel exhausted, uninspired, and stuck. Just like money wasted leaves you broke, energy wasted leaves you empty. You cannot expect a rich, fulfilling life if you're constantly giving your power away to what drains you instead of what builds you. The truth is, energy is an investment. Every thought you think, every conversation you have, every action you take is an exchange. You're either making a deposit into your future or losing yourself in unnecessary withdrawals. That's why you must treat your energy like treasure, because it is. If you spend it on drama, on fear, on things that keep you stagnant, you are essentially throwing away your wealth. But if you channel it toward growth, learning, discipline, and creating, you are compounding it into something greater. Every workout, every focused hour of work, every intentional decision is a deposit that pays back in strength, success, and fulfillment. Understand this. What drains you will never reward you. The people who only take from you will not suddenly start giving back. The habits that leave you tired will not magically start energizing you. The environments filled with negativity will not suddenly become nurturing. If you keep pouring your energy into what diminishes you, don't be surprised when you have nothing left for yourself. You have to become intentional. You have to evaluate where your energy is going. Ask yourself, is this conversation building me or draining me? Is this person adding to my life or taking away from it? Is this habit fueling me or slowly killing my progress? The more honest you become with these questions, the clearer your path will be. Energy is currency, and wise people know how to budget it. They don't waste it on every distraction. They don't entertain every battle. They don't involve themselves in everything just to prove they care. They learn to protect their energy because they know that where their energy flows, their life goes. You cannot build an empire with scattered focus. You cannot live with purpose if you're drained by every minor demand. You must learn the art of conserving, directing, and multiplying your energy. That's how you become powerful, that's how you become productive, and that's how you build a life that reflects your true worth. So stop treating your energy as if it's worthless. Start seeing it for what it is, your most valuable form of currency. Invest it in growth, in discipline, in meaningful relationships, in work that inspires you, and in rest that restores you. Withdraw it from drama, from negativity, from toxic connections, and from anything that leaves you weaker than before. Because at the end of the day, your energy determines your reality. Spend it wisely and your life will flourish. Waste it and you'll forever wonder why nothing changes. Your energy is the most valuable currency you will ever hold, more powerful than money, possessions, or status. Money can be earned, spent, lost, and regained, but your energy is different. It's finite, it's personal, and it cannot be renewed once wasted in the wrong places. Each day you wake up with a limited amount of energy, like a bank account filled with a certain balance. The question is, how are you spending it? Too many people give away their energy to arguments, meaningless distractions, toxic people, and endless scrolling, then wonder why they feel exhausted and unfulfilled. Energy works exactly like money. If you invest it in the wrong places, you end up bankrupt. But if you invest it wisely, it multiplies and builds a life of purpose, peace, and progress. Every choice you make, every person you give attention to, every task you commit yourself to is a transaction. You are spending energy, whether you realize it or not. The problem is that most people don't even think about it. They live like they have unlimited energy to give away. They stay available to everyone, responding to every call, every text, every demand, until they collapse under the weight of constant business. This is why so many people feel drained without knowing why. They have been pouring their energy into places that never give anything back. They are funding other people's priorities at the expense of their own. You must learn to treat your energy the way wealthy people treat their money, with strategy, with intention, and with discipline. A wealthy person does not invest blindly. They study, they evaluate, and they calculate before placing their money anywhere. You must do the same with your energy. Before you commit to something or someone, ask yourself, will this build me, or will this drain me? Does this relationship add peace to my life, or does it take it away? Does this habit make me stronger, or does it make me weaker? When you start asking these questions, you begin to realize how much energy you have been wasting on things that don't serve your growth. The truth is, not everything deserves your energy. Some people only come to you because you are willing to listen, not because they value your presence. Some tasks consume your time without ever moving you closer to your goals. Some environments are designed to drain you, filled with negativity, gossip, and distractions. Protecting your energy means being intentional about where you place your attention. It means turning down the noise, stepping away from the chaos, and refusing to give your energy to things that keep you stagnant. When you start spending your energy on what builds you, life begins to change. Suddenly, you have the strength to focus on your goals, the clarity to make better decisions, and the resilience to keep moving forward even in hard times. Your mornings become powerful when you direct your energy to routines that sharpen your mind and strengthen your body. Your relationships improve when you choose to spend your energy with people who uplift, support, and inspire you. Your progress accelerates when you dedicate your energy to learning, growing, and taking consistent action toward your vision. Energy invested wisely creates momentum. It compounds just like interest. Every small action fueled by intentional energy adds up. But the opposite is also true. Energy wasted leads to emptiness. The more you spend on what drains you, the less you have left for what builds you. And eventually, you wake up wondering why you feel stuck, tired, and unmotivated. The answer is simple: you've been overspending on things that don't matter. So guard your energy as you would guard your most precious treasure. Be mindful of where it flows, because where your energy goes, your life grows. If you want strength, invest in health. If you want wisdom, invest in learning. If you want peace, invest in silence and stillness. If you want success, invest in your vision. Your energy is your currency. Spend it wisely. Because once it's gone, you can never get it back. Growth requires separation. And this is a truth that many people resist because it requires sacrifice. You cannot rise to new levels while clinging to everything and everyone from the old. Elevation demands that you step away from distractions, toxic attachments, and even comfortable patterns that keep you stagnant. The reality is not everyone can go with you to the next stage of your life. Some people are only meant for a chapter, not the entire book. When you try to drag them along, you end up carrying dead weight, slowing down your progress, and draining the energy that should be fueling your growth. Separation is not rejection, it is refinement. It is the process of shedding what no longer serves your highest potential, so you can embrace the discipline and clarity required to reach greater heights. When you decide to grow, you will notice that the circle around you begins to shrink. It's not because you have become arrogant, but because your focus is too valuable to be wasted. Growth thrives in environments of focus and intentionality, and that often means fewer distractions. Social gatherings that used to entertain you may no longer satisfy your spirit. Conversations that once felt engaging might now feel shallow or meaningless. This is the natural evidence of elevation. You begin craving depth, purpose, and alignment. And to create space for these higher pursuits, you must separate from what keeps you stuck in cycles of mediocrity. Separation also teaches discipline. It requires saying no to instant gratification, to the constant pull of comfort, and to the people who expect you to remain who you used to be. Elevation means becoming unfamiliar even to yourself, because you are evolving into someone greater. But that transformation can't happen in the midst of noise and distraction. To build focus, you must guard your environment like sacred ground. Every distraction you allow is a seed of delay, pulling you further from your purpose. True focus comes when you strip away the excess, leaving only what nourishes your growth. Another truth is that not everyone will understand your separation. Some will accuse you of being distant, cold, or changed. And in many ways they are right, you have changed. You are no longer available in the same way, because your purpose requires more of you than casual connections and wasted time. It is not your job to explain your elevation to those who cannot see beyond their own perspective. Growth is personal, and those who truly value you will respect the boundaries you set. Those who don't were never aligned with your destiny to begin with. The beauty of separation is that it creates clarity. When you strip away distractions, you begin to see your path with sharper vision. Your goals come into focus, your habits align with your intentions, and your energy flows in the right direction. Separation teaches you that success is not built in crowded places, but in focused solitude. Greatness is not achieved by spreading yourself thin, but by channeling yourself fully. If you truly want elevation, you must embrace the loneliness that comes with it. Separation is not punishment, it is preparation. It is the refining fire that burns away what is temporary so that what is eternal can remain. Growth is costly, and the price is often comfort, familiarity, and easy companionship. But the reward is transformation, purpose, and the power to stand in the fullness of who you are meant to be. Growth requires separation, because you cannot rise if you are unwilling to let go of what keeps you grounded in the past. It is through fewer distractions, tighter boundaries, and sharpened focus that you unlock the next version of yourself, the one ready to walk boldly into elevation. True relationships are not built on control, demand, or constant availability. They are built on respect, trust, and understanding. When someone truly values you, they don't measure your worth by how quickly you reply to their messages, how often you show up when they call, or how easily you bend to their requests. Instead, they understand that you have your own life, your own growth, and your own responsibilities. They honor the limits you set, because they recognize that those limits are not about rejection but about balance. A person who respects you knows that your boundaries protect not only your well-being but also the quality of the connection you share with them. Too often, we confuse love with possession and friendship with obligation. People who demand your constant presence, who guilt-trip you when you need time for yourself, or who make you feel small for prioritizing your growth, are not valuing you. They are valuing their own convenience. They want access without effort and presence without consideration. But true relationships are different. They don't punish you for evolving. They don't shame you for needing space. They support your progress because they know your elevation is not a threat, but a testimony that growth is possible. When you set limits, you are teaching others how to treat you. If someone pushes against those limits and refuses to respect them, it reveals their intentions. But when someone embraces your boundaries and still chooses to walk beside you, it shows that they are invested in your well-being, not just in what you provide for them. That is what makes a bond unshakable. Boundaries filter out the selfish and highlight the genuine. Think about it: in every healthy relationship, there is a rhythm of closeness and distance, giving and resting, connection and reflection. When both people honor that rhythm, trust deepens. Your absence is not seen as abandonment, but as part of your journey. Your distance is not viewed as rejection, but as necessary breathing space. People who value you will not try to clip your wings. They will celebrate your flight, knowing that your strength benefits the relationship too. Respecting limits is an act of maturity. It takes strength to say, "I will not cross this line because I care for you." And it takes wisdom to recognize that someone else's limits are not barriers but bridges to a healthier connection. The more you grow, the more you will realize that relationships are not about constant proximity but about consistent respect. If you feel the need to constantly explain, justify, or apologize for setting boundaries, that relationship may not be rooted in genuine value. Those who truly care for you won't demand explanations. They will simply accept your limits because they trust your intentions. They know your distance does not mean disinterest, and your silence does not mean disconnection. In the end, the relationships that stand the test of time are the ones where freedom exists alongside love. Where two people can walk their own paths yet remain connected. Where progress is celebrated, not punished. Where distance is not feared but respected. This kind of relationship allows both individuals to grow without guilt and to love without chains. Remember this: the people who punish your progress were never invested in you, only in their access to you. But the people who honor your limits prove that they value not just your presence but your person. And those are the relationships worth keeping, because they grow with you, not against you. Your peace is priceless because it is the foundation on which every other part of your life is built. Without peace, success feels empty, relationships feel heavy, and achievements lose their meaning. In a world full of noise, distractions, and constant demands, protecting your peace is not a luxury, it is a necessity. Every time you sacrifice your peace for temporary approval, for shallow validation, or for the comfort of others, you are trading something infinite for something worthless. People may not understand why you choose solitude over chaos, silence over arguments, or distance over drama, but the truth is, peace is the oxygen of the soul. Without it, you cannot breathe, you cannot create, and you cannot fully live. That is why your peace must remain untouchable, guarded as the most valuable possession you have. Many people confuse peace with weakness. They think if you do not engage in conflict, you are avoiding reality. But true peace is not avoidance. It is strength under control. It is the decision to walk away, instead of wasting your energy in battles that do not matter. It is choosing calm when the world wants you to panic. It is keeping your focus when distractions fight for your attention. Protecting your peace means being intentional with who you allow into your space, what you consume, and where you spend your energy. Every invitation is not for you, every conversation is not worth your words, and every battle is not yours to fight. When you recognize that, you stop scattering yourself in meaningless directions and begin channeling your presence into things that truly matter. Clarity only comes when the noise is reduced. If your life is constantly filled with people's opinions, arguments, gossip, and negativity, you cannot hear your own inner voice. Protecting your peace is how you protect that voice. It is how you hear your intuition, your vision, and your purpose speaking to you. Without peace, your mind becomes a battlefield of confusion. With peace, you find the focus to create, to grow, and to build something meaningful. That is why some seasons of life will require you to step away, to isolate, to retreat. Not because you hate people, but because you value yourself enough to preserve your energy. Your presence becomes powerful when it comes from a place of peace. People can feel the difference between a restless soul and a calm spirit. When you are at peace, you radiate strength, confidence, and clarity. Others begin to respect you not because of what you say, but because of what they sense when they are around you. Peace makes your words carry weight, your actions carry intention, and your silence carry meaning. A person who has mastered peace cannot be manipulated easily, cannot be distracted quickly, and cannot be broken by chaos. That is why your peace is priceless, because it makes you untouchable in a world designed to pull you in 1,000 directions. So protect your peace fiercely. Guard your mornings, because how you start your day determines how you carry yourself. Guard your time, because not everyone deserves your hours. Guard your mind, because what you allow in will shape your reality. Guard your heart, because not everyone deserves your emotions. The moment you choose peace over drama, clarity over confusion, and calm over chaos, you step into a life of true power. Remember this: money can be lost and earned again. Relationships may come and go, opportunities may rise and fall, but once your peace is gone, everything else loses value. Hold on to it, protect it, and never let anyone make you feel guilty for prioritizing it. Because at the end of the day, peace is not just part of success. Peace is success. Life will not remember how many people you pleased, how often you answered every call, or how many times you sacrificed your peace just to keep others comfortable. What life will remember is the impact you created, the growth you embraced, and the value you carried by protecting your time, your energy, and your purpose. Being valuable is not about being everywhere for everyone. It is about being rooted in clarity, discipline, and boundaries. It is about knowing that your presence has power, but only when it is preserved, protected, and invested in the right places. Not everyone deserves access to you. Not everyone has earned your energy, and not everyone belongs in your circle. So let the world call you distant. Let them misunderstand your silence. Let them whisper about your absence. Because your absence in the wrong places is what creates your presence in the right ones. Protect your peace, honor your growth, and never apologize for choosing yourself. Remember, your value increases the moment you stop being available to everything that doesn't align with who you're becoming. That is how you rise. That is how you remain untouchable. And that is how you prove to yourself and to the world that your life was never meant to be spent but invested. Be valuable, not available.